Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Alexa, and today we're gonna throw it back to one of my favorite series that I had on my channel. If you don't know, I completely revamped my channel about a month and a half ago, maybe a little longer than that. Basically privated all my videos and started fresh, going in a different direction. And a series that I used to have on my channel was called Creative Color, and basically I went through this amazing color dictionary and I created looks based on different color combinations in this book. So I will link this book down below. I got it off of Amazon. It's just this color theory dictionary, and it's all these different combos from duos to, if we can find some, trios, and then it's got some quads in here. And it was just a way for me to get out of my comfort zone, play with some different colors together that maybe just wouldn't naturally come to my mind. So having this book is a really nice resource, and we are going to use this today and create a really fun look. I've just been missing this so much, and I did end up making that Creative Color playlist public. I am not using any Christian makeup brands in any of those videos, but again, with any look that you see me create on this channel, use what you have, use whatever makeup products you have. But today we're going to be pulling this out, and I'm so excited to create a look. So without further ado, make sure you grab a drink, grab a snack, grab your makeup if you want to do your makeup along with me. Cheers, and let's get into it. So before we get into the video, as you can tell, we have decorated for Christmas. Christmas is here. November 1st, we pulled out all the decorations, and I am just so excited. I'm still kind of doing fall looks, but yeah, our whole house is decorated for Christmas. I love this time of year. It's such an important time of the year. I mean, we're celebrating the birth of Jesus, and I just had to pull out all the decorations. Let's go ahead and get into the makeup. I just have a little bit of tallow on my face, and then I did my brows, but that's it. So we're gonna go straight into foundation, and today I'm gonna use my Kingdom Come Home Tallow and Milk Foundation. This is a beef tallow and goat milk foundation. It is probably my favorite foundation right now. It's the one I've been wearing consistently. This is the one I'm reaching for from day to day. So I'm using the shades 3 and 4. I was just using shade 3, but I applied self tanner this past weekend, so I'm definitely needing a little bit of 4 in the mix. And I just apply these to my hand. I do about half a pump of each. I will of course have all the products that I'm using listed and linked down below, just in case you are wondering what these products are, because they are probably not products that you are used to seeing if you are new to my channel. People just don't talk about these amazing brands, and so I will make sure to link to everything down below. And I just wash all my makeup brushes, so that makes me, bless you Hilda, cat is sneezing in the background. I just washed all my makeup brushes, so that makes me very happy. I'm using my Adele 160 Chubby blender brush, and I'm just going to buff that into my skin, like always. And I'm also going to take a little bit of this foundation on my eyelids, just to cancel out any veining, and this will help to prep for our eyeshadows that we're going to do. Alright, for under eye concealer, I'm going to take the Kingdom Come Home coconut concealers. I'm starting with the shade Toffee, and I put this in my inner and outer corner. And then I'm going to take the shade Light Tan, which is one shade lighter. Just a little bit right in the center. I just like a mixture of these two shades. Just like the foundation, I'm kind of in between. So I've just been taking a combination of those. And then for the rest of my face, I'm going to use my Perez Arnica concealer. And I'm just going to use the same little chubby blender brush to apply this. This is in the shade Brew, and it's more of a matte concealer, so I like it for my face. I just have not found a Christian makeup brand that has a concealer that I'm just head over heels for. So I'm just using Perez, which is a great and clean brand. I've been using their products for years, and I love the ingredients that they use. So just from a wellness standpoint, I really like this company. Alright, so after I've done my face concealer, I'm going to go and blend out my under eyes. I'm just going to use that same brush. And for today, I do want to do a little bit of cream bronzer. So I'm just going to take a little bit. I am going to go in with a powder bronzer, but I just really like to layer my bronzers. So I'm going to apply this as a preliminary bronzing step. And we will be going over with some bronzer. I also might do a little bit of contour. All right, and then set the face. I'm going to use my favorite Adele finishing powder. Nothing new here. I like to just tap some in the cap and then just pick it up from the cap. It's just a little easier that way. And I always attack my under eyes first because that's where I get the most creasing. And then I go through my T-zone. And I'm going to make sure to set down my eyelids as well so that they don't crease. And then I'm going to go in with a larger brush and set the rest of my face. For bronzer, I'm going to take my Kingdom Come Home Botanical Powder Foundation. This is in the shade Deep. This is the closest thing I've been able to find to MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural. And I'm just going to buff this right on top of that cream bronzer I applied. Scooch all in a little bit. Then for contour, I'm going to use my Toups & Co. bronzer. This is in the shade Touch of Sun. Right at the backs of my cheekbones. Just for a little extra definition. And using that same brush, I'm going to go down the sides of my nose as well. And then going back in with my large powder brush, I'm just going to just gently buff over top. No additional product, just to make sure that everything is nice and soft and blended. And then for blush, I'm going to take my Kingdom Come Home blush in the shade Desert Rose. You would think I would know this shade name by now. I know I'm using a lot of the same products that I always do. I feel like this blush just goes with everything. I wouldn't mind picking up maybe a more peachy color because I am missing like a nice warm peachy blush. I don't have that right now. So if I were to get another one, that's probably the direction I would go in. But really, I feel like this shade goes with everything. Like no matter what look I'm doing, I feel like this always looks really pretty. All right, and then I'm gonna spray all of these powders down with my TaylorMade Finishing Touch setting spray. So for the actual look, this complexion routine is basically what I do every time I'm getting ready. It's just like my go-to, like all the products I'm using. This is basically what I wear on a daily basis. But getting into the actual look, we're gonna dig into this. Again, this is a dictionary of color combinations. This is an amazing resource if you just don't know how to pair different colors together, especially when it comes to the eyes. And that's something that I struggle with when I want to do multiple shades. So let's say I'm looking at an eyeshadow palette and I see all these different colors together. I just sometimes don't know what colors to put together. And it could just be me overthinking it. Like I really don't think you can screw up eyeshadow. Like I feel like if you like 2 colors together or 3 colors together, then you should just use them. There's no right or wrong way to do it. But I got this for myself last year because I wanted to, was it last year? I think this was last year. Gosh, I don't know. But I got this for myself to just kind of help me put different colors together that maybe I would not naturally think of, that would not naturally come to mind. So for this look, I knew I wanted to use the Lynn Cosmetics Level 5 eyeshadow palette, which as you can tell has a ton of pinky, red, orange, purple, a little bit of gold and yellow in here. So there's definitely a color scheme. So I wanted to find a color combination in this book that fit within that so that I was able to use that eyeshadow palette. And the one that really stood out to me, well, I guess I have 2 bookmarked here. I don't know which one I want to use yet though. But I have this one. So we've got this really pretty purpley lavender color, like a burnt brownish orange, kind of an olivey gold, and then a black. And the thing about this is that you don't have to necessarily use the exact same shade that's on here. It's more of just inspiration. So if I don't have this like purpley lilac color, I can just replace it with any kind of purple And I think it's just to kind of get you thinking of different color combinations within this realm. So this is one that I thought was really cool and different, and I would never think to pair like this golden olive with like a purple. These two I could definitely see myself going for, but like an olive and a purple, that's not, and it's not like super olive. It's more like a, what was that, like Uninterrupted from MAC? Kind of like that olivey golden yellow. But yeah, I would never pair that with purple. And then another one that I think I'm leaning more towards this one, because I just think this is more interesting and it's very, very fall, is this one right here. So you have this burnt orange, kind of a olive cream color, a burgundy, it's more like a brownish burgundy, definitely more on the like chocolate brown, like Swiss chocolate. And then this, what is this? This is like a taupey eggplant, like, but not as rich as an eggplant, a light rosy eggplant color. So I thought this was kind of cool, and it definitely fits into a fall look, even though our background is Christmas. I'm thinking for, let's see if I can put this on the screen here. I'm thinking for this quad, I've got some stuff to work with here. Let me see if I can put these side by side. Okay, there, that's a little better. So like obviously we've got some orange in here. We've got like this kind of burgundy maroon, even this one right here. This color, I was thinking maybe we could use gold, like one of these gold colors for that. And then this, what would that be? Maybe even this. I think we're gonna do this one. And if you have this book, which I know some of y'all bought this book when I first showed it on my channel, this is page 275. It does not have any names, like it doesn't have a name of this colorway, but it's on page 275 of this version. I think there's a volume 2. This is volume 1, I believe. I'm excited. I don't think it's much of a challenge, honestly. I think I would normally pair these kinds of colors together. Honestly, orange and purple look really great together. They are opposite each other on the color wheel. So orange always brings out purple and purple always enhances orange. So I feel like purple and orange is just a great duo. And then adding these kind of tones in there, I think is going to make it really pretty and add a lot of dimension. Now in this palette, I feel like there's not a true like chocolatey brown, like this shade right here. There's not like a true chocolatey brown, so I'm probably gonna have to mix and kind of create my own little color combinations. I'm gonna start with this shade right here, and I'm gonna mix in a little bit of this shade. This shade can come across very pinky purple, so I'm just gonna use the tiniest bit of this, but I wanna mix it in with a little bit of this very warm burnt brown, and I think that'll give me the shade I'm looking for. And I'm just gonna like go for it. I'm not gonna play it too safe. I am so excited to be doing this right now. I'm so excited to be playing with color. I feel like I've just been in a very creative rut, which is what made me pull out my book. And I actually pulled out a bunch of my makeup books, so be prepared. The next several videos, we're gonna be playing with some of my makeup books. I have so many that I haven't even like truly dug into. So I'm very excited about that. So I hope y'all are as well. All right, so I've got that little combination. Like even then it's coming across a little bit too red. I'm gonna dip into this shade right here as well. So I'm doing this one, and this one. Just those three mixed together. And I'm gonna sweep this on a slightly more fluffy brush because I don't want it to be too intense right off the bat. I want something a little bit softer. I kind of have an idea of how I want to do these or arrange these shadows on the eyes, but I never quite know until I get in there and start applying the eyeshadows and kind of see what I like. Okay, that right off the bat is stunning. I'm gonna create that same little Cocktail. And I'm gonna do that on my other eye. Hopefully it matches. I did another look using this eyeshadow palette on my Instagram, so if you want to see another little fun color combination, definitely make sure you're following me on Instagram. I was just feeling very creative one day and I pulled this palette out and just kind of came up with something. This is pretty. It's like very cherry cola. That's like the first thing that comes to mind. Right, and then I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. I'm going to take that same combination of colors and I'm going to run that along my lower lash line. So I'm really just wrapping these shades all around my eye. I'm not winging it out. I'm keeping it pretty tight to my eye. Pretty round. All right, I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush. And this is where I want to incorporate a little bit of the orange. I think I'm going to start with this shade right here. If I want to go a little bit deeper, I'll maybe move into here. If I'm feeling really crazy, I'll even go here, which is a much brighter orange. But I'm going to start here. Just taking that on a fluffy brush. And I'm just going to start blending this through my crease. So it peekaboos out the very edge of that cherry cola shade we created. Now that I'm looking at this more, I feel like the shade that we have on the lid is more of this color rather than this color. It's not quite brown enough to be this tone. It's a little bit more on the purpley side. So I think this is the shade that I'm going to claim as the all over lid shade. We've got a little bit of this orange and then we will add in more of this chocolatey brown color and then I'll kind of figure out a shade to use for this. But yeah, I'm feeling like this is more of the shade that I created and it's giving more of that like purple and orange on the eyes, which I think is so pretty. So I'm going to go back in with that orangey shade and I'm going to run that along my lower lash line just to smoke out that purple color we already have. I may need to dip into a different palette for the brown because I'm not seeing any brown in here. That's going to provide us with enough contrast. And then I'm actually going to take a little bit of this shade, which is one of the first shades that we used in our little concoction. And I'm just going to place that right in the outer crease. And then I'm going to take that same brown shade we just used and I'm going to concentrate that right on the outer corner of my lower lash line. I really like this color. So we've got that nice kind of mauvey, purpley light eggplant color, a little bit of an orange in the crease, upper crease to the brow. So for the brown, I'm going to dip into my other Lynn Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. This is the level 1 palette. I'm going to take the shade Patience. Honestly, Patience and Kindness are almost identical. I kind of wish there was more depth with one of these because I feel like next to each other they just look identical. But I'm going to take Patience and I'm going to pop that right on the outer corner. See if we can get some depth here. It might not be dark enough. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I feel like I can see that just a little bit. It's very subtle. I mean, regardless, this is a really pretty eye look. I'm going to turn my lights down here because I feel like, yeah, now you can kind of see it more true to color. Could even pull in a little bit of this Goodness shade or this shade for that orange. Actually, I think Faith, this one, is more of what's in the book. Okay, just for fun, let's take a little bit of this shade called Faithfulness. And just if you're wondering, all of the shade names for this palette are Fruits of the Spirit, which I just love that. This is another awesome Christian company. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of Faithfulness just right on the outer corner of my upper crease just to deepen up that rich oranginess. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so just for reference, in case y'all have forgotten what this looks like, this is what we have so far. So I feel like we did a pretty good job with this shade, and this shade. I wish the brown was a little bit richer, and I feel like in person I can see more of the brown coming through. But yeah, I I don't have like a really, really rich brown like that in any of my palettes. We're just gonna work with that, and then we need to find something for this. I would describe this as an olivey beige. It's definitely got a green undertone to it, which I don't have. However, I was thinking maybe gold, like a yellow gold, would kind of give us that same effect. So maybe like this shade right here. So let's see. I don't want it at its full opacity. I want something a little bit more sheer. Or do I want something really intense? I'm going to take a really, really small brush. I'm going to spray it with my tailor-made finishing spray. I'm going to dip into that gold shade. Just really coat both sides of that brush. I have this shade, which is really cool, but it's a straight up glitter, like chunky glitter. There's no filler or like binder. So I don't really know how to apply that to my eyes without it falling all over the place. All right, so I've got my brush loaded up. Okay, that's kind of cool. And I don't want it to be super graphic, so I'm kind of fanning the gold down a little bit. And then I'm going to bring that gold into my inner corner and down to my lower lash line. I'm going to take my finger and just soften it up a bit. Yeah, I think that's fun. That's cool. I think I need to do mascara to figure out if I want to do anything else. So yeah, I'm going to leave my eyes like this. I'm going to do mascara and see how that looks. But I don't know, it's kind of fun and interesting, something different rather than just putting it on the lid, which I feel like is like my go-to. Just kind of doing something a little bit different. It's kind of fun. All right, so I'm going to go and curl my lashes. I'm going to apply mascara off camera, and then we will be back to reassess the eyes. But I think they look really cool like they are. So I'll be right back. All right, so I did mascara. I also put a little bit of brown liner in my waterline, and I think I'm gonna leave the eyes the way they are. I think it looks really good. Again, let's find the reference photo. Not too bad, right? It was an easy one. Okay, I will say this one was less of a challenge, but I feel like we accomplished this color combination. Really pretty, perfect for fall. So pretty, very like pumpkin spice-esque, which I will be redoing my pumpkin spice look because I did private my pumpkin spice look that I did this year since changing my channel. So we will be redoing pumpkin spice, I promise. I will give y'all another pumpkin spice look, but honestly, this is giving very pumpkin spice. I like it a lot. Okay, so I do want a little bit more blush after doing the eyes. I feel like I can't even see my blush anymore. So I'm just gonna go back in with my same blush that I used. Just add a little bit more. And then for the lip, I wanna do, well, okay, two things. I wanna do either a nude lip with this rich chocolate brown liner, very contrasting, or maybe not so contrasting. So I'm gonna start doing it I'm gonna start with a really harsh contrasted lip. I'm gonna take Fact Check Me from Elevate, and then if I feel like I'm not liking the contrast, I will kind of marry the lipstick with the lip liner and make it more of a brown lip. But I definitely want to use a brown lip liner. I think it'll look really pretty with this. I'll say I've really missed just playing with makeup, like having fun with it. No pressure, just, I don't know, just doing what I used to do, just playing with color, playing with texture. I really miss this, and this was so much fun. I'm loving every second of this. All right, so after that lipstick dries down, I'm gonna go in with the lip liner. This is Coffee Shop from Elevate. I do have a full video swatching all of her lip pencils, so if you are wondering what they look like on the lips, as well as swatches, definitely check out that video. And if y'all want me to, I will do a video swatching all of her liquid lips. So let me know in the comments. I have every single nude shade, and then I have one red shade. I don't have all of her red shades, but if you want to see all the nudes swatched on the lips and just swatched, I can do that. That will be kind of a monster to do, but if y'all really want me to do it, I will. So like I said, very harsh contrast. I'm gonna actually go in with a brush and soften up the lip pencil, kind of blend it into the lip. And if you kind of press your lips together, that helps too. Yeah, I don't love the contrast, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of my lip pencil. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of the shade Truth Seeker, which is another one of her sculpt edits. It's a little bit more browny. I'm gonna add that in. We're just gonna create our own lipstick shade here. Basically applied that all over the lip. I'm just gonna smudge it in with the liner. Okay, that's pretty. Now, one last thing I wanna do. I'm gonna take a little bit of concealer. I'm never gonna be able to recreate this lip again. And should we just put a gloss on top? I feel like we need a gloss for this. What gloss? I have... Ooh. Alright, this is Be Cheerful by Willow Beauty. This is part of her Charlie Kirk collection. I'm just gonna do a smidge of this. It's pretty sheer, but I don't want the red to show. I just like the warmth of the red. And the good thing about these liquid lips is that when they dry down, they don't transfer. So you're not gonna get a bunch of lipstick on your gloss. And in my Instagram look, I actually used an eyeshadow on the lips and created like a little bit of a frosty, kind of a frosty highlight on the lips. It was so pretty. It looked really pretty with the eyes. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. But yeah, that was a really pretty lip too. I don't know. I was just having fun. All right, guys, that completes this creative color video. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me and creating a really fun look. I'm just trying to get back into my favorite makeup videos and just having fun, getting creative, and I don't know, just playing in my makeup again. I've been so focused on trying to replace my old makeup that I just haven't sat down at my makeup table and just played, just had fun, and like, you know, not worried so much about all like how the product is performing, and like it was just fun to throw some color on the eyes. And I love this book. Again, I'll link it down below, but I really want to try out some more looks in here, like this one right here. Oh, so pretty. But they have some really fun, cool ones too. I just need to get more eyeshadows. I need to get more variety of eyeshadows, or just pull in some of my old eyeshadows, because like there's some really fun combinations in here, like really fun ones. But I have no green eyeshadows at the moment, but there's some like really fun little color combinations in here. So having fun with that. I've just been going through all my makeup books and just getting re-inspired. So definitely make sure you're subscribed, you have notifications turned on, because I have some really fun videos coming up. Like I said, I'm gonna redo my pumpkin spice look, so you'll have a pumpkin spice look for the fall time. And then pretty soon it's gonna be winter, and not that like my makeup changes a ton in the winter, but we'll kind of transition into some winter makeup looks. I have no idea what's trending. I have no idea like what is going to be popular, but I'll have to look into that and we'll create some fun looks. But thank y'all so much again for being here. As always, remember, I love you, God so loves you, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye guys.